Hi, everybody, and welcome to Eric Hunting from Parts Unknown. Our main objective today is we're reviewing the PvP Resurrection show that happened on April 16th in East Hampton. We experienced an amazing show. I have my sweetheart with me behind the camera.
Hello.
And we're going to go through the matches and events that happened on that amazing Saturday night. And so stick with us and we'll go through all this. This was 2 years of them being gone, and they finally made their return after the pandemic. The crowd was, I would say, chomping at the bit to get some action, and they started off hot. The first match was the King of Chaos, Logan Black, versus Teddy Goods. This is a match that has happened multiple times before at PvP, and
It's always a barn burner.
and you knew you were getting a good match. You really did. And they weren't even able to touch for 5 minutes because the crowd was singing along Logan Black's entrance theme.
And then Teddy Goods.
And then Teddy Goods came out, and everybody was, hooting and hollering and cheering. And then they finally locked up, and they did not disappoint. That match was, as some would say, fire. It really was. There wasn't a low point. I don't know about you. I thought it was an amazing match.
I mean, I would. It's a contender for match of the night. That's
Definitely,
for sure.
Definitely.
And it was also the right match to start off with.
Yeah.
Because these wrestlers are amazing and such fan favorites with good reason.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. This was definitely a face versus face match. There wasn't a bad guy in the match.
It was a both these guys match.
Yes, 100%. And it ended that way. It was both these guys keep it going. We didn't want the match to end. Not one moment. And then Teddy Goods ended up coming away with it. And, it could have gone either way. It really could have. It was a great match.
There was a lot of back and forth.
I think I expected a little bit more hardcore because Logan was in it. But he doesn't have to do the hardcore, and he didn't really do it. They went outside the ring, but we didn't really.
Well, they're both very versatile wrestlers.
Oh, yeah, they adapt well.
I mean, we've seen doors splinter with the two of them. And
one of our first events was those two. And again, never a letdown with those two.
No.
And I think they did a great job. And we have a lot of love for both of those guys in this house. They've shown our family a lot of love, and right back to them. And then after that great opening, one Mr. Hammer Tunis came out and was gonna tell us about the future of the companies, because the whole point of this evening was the combining of Western Mass Wrestling and Pioneer Valley Professional Wrestling. And he was giving us an insight on where things are headed and where he is after his 13 years in the business. And we were getting to a point, and then Matthew James came in to show some love from the Western Mass Wrestling side of things to Hammer, and then Alex Cypher came out, and those two, Alex Cypher and Matthew James had a little bit of a scuffle.
Which is to be expected with those two.
That's pretty much where we left off with Western Mass 2 years ago. So, nothing is healed in this amount of time. And they, and then it got disbanded, and we got right into the next match.
But I have to touch on some of the things that Hammer said. I appreciated the fact that he talked about his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And that because we all see the wrestlers, but we don't see what happens with the people who support them.
Yes.
And it's good to see him acknowledging his support.
Yes.
And so kudos to him.
Yes. And agreed. And after that, our next match was the victorious Brian Ryan Grosson and Nuka. And we have a lot of love for Nuka in this house.
Yeah, maybe a little.
A little bit. We love some Nuka. But you know what? Again, another non-disappointing match. This match was everything that you knew it was going to be with Nuka. And BRG he's just one of those heels where you
love to hate him.
He just gets under your skin just looking at him. But you love to be just annoyed by him.
And the crowd was very into this match.
The crowd was definitely, I think, the number one support system of this whole show. The crowd was on fire the whole night. I don't think there was, much of a down. They definitely weren't in church on that Saturday.
No.
It was everybody was there to be loud and be proud, and they showed it in this match. Nuka just fires the crowd up. He's so good. He's so smooth.
For someone who's so soft-spoken.
Yes. You never hear a word from him. And then, But
he gets his message across.
He certainly does.
I love it when he comes out with his flag that says, "We are all one."
Well, his gear and his face paint for Saturday was for the Ukraine.
No, for Ukraine.
Sorry. So, but I mean, he was showing love and support for things that are going on, and
he's just a good fellow.
And and then things got a little wild and crazy towards the end, and Nuka maybe not let out some mist, and
I was confused by the whole thing because
somehow BRG came away green.
Yeah,
that's all I want to say. And Nuka came away with the W on that one, and it's
you got to do what you got to do.
Anything to win, right?
And the right person won.
And the right person won on that one in this house, anyways. And then we had RJ Rood came out, who is now no longer a tag team wrestler. He was in Insanely Rood. And Zane Bernardo is no longer wrestling. He's doing other things with his life.
Good luck to him.
And best of luck to him. And so RJ Rood is going on a singles run now. And
good luck to him.
And he's definitely showing that he can do the singles thing. Because he's always been a tag team with Insanely Rood. But before he could, he did his entrance, and then all of a sudden Jared Silverclight comes out and starts running his mouth. He's always had a problem with Insanely Rood and other promotions, and it followed him right to PvP. The crowd was, totally against Silverclight, and I'm trying to say it right. It's not easy.
That's what you said,
and that's what I said. And so then he had his benefactor came on. Who he had hired for the night, which was Troy Stevens. New to us, never seen him before. Talented. He's a sneaky, conniving guy.
Which
doesn't surprise you being with Jared Silverclight.
But he did make the offer to...
Silverclight wanted to, hey, you don't have to have this match, but obviously he came to wrestle, and we wrestled. And it was, you had some shenanigans with Silverclight getting involved, of course. And then, RJ came away with the W on that one. And then...
Seeing Silverclight represent Sergeant Pepper was a fun little...
This is true. And he was well aware of what he was doing, because he introduced himself to me as the Lost Beetle, looking like a Sergeant Pepper member. And that was fun. But he was not too happy with Troy Stevens taking the L on that. and they had a little bit of a disagreement, and somebody got chased out of the hall, and
I heard something about the check is in the mail.
yeah, something like that. And somebody was not getting paid, and
I wouldn't hold my breath for that.
and after that one came the hoss fight of all hoss fights.
Oh, yes.
Our boy Chris Benet from New York, the godfather of the choke slam, the tracksuit brute, come out to go against Wrecking Ball Legursky. I mean, Wrecking Ball's never let down. Chris has never let down.
Big men.
And this was just big men slapping meat, and it really was everything that a hoss fight should be. You saw people picking up people that shouldn't be being picked up. I never expected Wrecking Ball to be off his feet like that by anybody.
I don't think he expected it.
And I don't think Chris expected to be off his feet either.
Right.
It was what it was supposed to be. I love Wrecking Ball. I really do. You know, good luck to him with everything he's doing with the NWA right now.
He's impressive, yes.
We've been a fan of Wrecking Ball since day one. Going to PvP. But I was backing Chris Benet on this one. And
same.
Sadly, Chris picked up the L, Wrecking Ball picked up the W, but it was
definitely another contender for match of the night.
It's up there.
Yes.
It's definitely up there. I think we'll get to that towards the end of this, but
so we'll put a little star next.
And then after that match, because the fans needed to calm down, I think we had the intermission. We went around, we said our highs, and picked
Hugs.
up merch and all that. And it was nice to get around and say welcome home to everybody, because that's really what this was welcome home to BVP.
Right.
So after the intermission, we got introduced to a new wrestler to us, and that was legit Perfect Perkins. This is a stud. I mean, this kid, he's got an amazing look. He's got the physical. He's got the athleticism. I mean, you don't call yourself perfect if you're not pretty damn close to it.
He really, really is impressive.
And his opponent was Brother Greatness, who is a lot of fun.
But he's also new to PvP?
He's new to PvP. He's not new to the area.
Right.
He's in a faction with Dan the Man, which...
The Mission, correct?
The Mission, yeah. And he's well known in the area.
He's a lot of fun.
And he's a lot of fun. Somehow I dropped money in the offering plate. I don't know how that happened. He's got some powers. I don't understand it.
Wily.
He's wily, yeah. He's something. He tried, but Perfect Perkins, he came off that second rope with a perfect plex and picked up the win on that one. And I'm telling you, this kid's going to be somebody somewhere. He's hitting all the towns from what I understand, and if he keeps on the track that he's going, I think he's going to be somebody. Perfect Perkins he's got some talent, and
I was a little disappointed in the crowd.
But we know sometimes when we get new people, if they don't know you,
they try and relate, but still, I think the crowd should really be aware of what they're saying, how they're saying it. Well,
that's kind of where we are here at Parts Unknown, is we want to build them up. We don't want to tear them down. And we try to promote the positivity. Yes, we're going to cheer and we're going to boo. But there's booing and then there's being disrespectful. And there were points, I think, in that match where some people weren't thinking. They were just letting their mouth go, and hopefully they think better of that in the future.
I agree.
And then the next after that was, I guess we'll call it a Legends moment, where Doc Heresy and Marshall McNeil came out to their fun jazz music that Doc Heresy comes out to.
Big band.
Big band. It's fun. Anytime Doc Heresy comes out, it's fun. just to dance along with it. And seeing Marshall McNeil is always fun. When we first saw him, he was the commissioner of PvP at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But we always get memories of Johnny Idol because of them being together. And so it was good to see them come out. And then the Pyramids of Power came out.
Which I wasn't expecting.
Now, neither was I. But apparently they're former trainees of Doc Heresy.
Ah,
so there's
that's
history
correct. Right.
That's what they were saying in the ring. And
Yep.
so it became an impromptu match because, well, Marshall McNeil, always being a consummate professional, had his gear on underneath his clothes. He was ready to go.
A little tangle with the shoes, but he got past that.
Hey, listen, it's been a while since he wrestled, so he had to wrestle the shoes first.
Yes,
and
got him warmed up.
It got him warmed up. It was fun. It was different. It was to get you ready for what was coming next. And, the legend showed the kids, how they still have it, and they took it away. And Marshall and Doc Heresy had a beer post-match at ringside, which was fun.
And the crowd was
into that one.
Yeah, because they joined them. And
Yep, no, that was fun. Then it was time for the main event. The main event was, we were going to have the unification of the PvP and the WMW championships. The former PvP champion was Dexter Lou, but he was a little busy.
Congratulations.
Welcoming in a new family member, or getting ready to anyways. And so he had to forfeit the title.
But I think he made the right bet.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. So it was the people in charge picked Big Bacon Brad Hollister to take the place of Dexter Lou to represent Pioneer Valley Professional Wrestling. Former 3-time champion.
Yeah.
So, it's not a person that you don't think can take it, because my money was on Bacon to take it.
And mine was
on Western Mass's representation, which was Scotty Wilde.
Right.
Which, either or is Scotty Wilde has been proving himself since we've been watching, and amazing talent.
Some of the matches with Logan Black that he's had in the past.
That trilogy match there with Logan Black at the waterfront. Mm-hmm. Those were some amazing matches. Hard hitting, not that hard hitting Bobby Ocean, but they were hard hitting matches. They were all over the place.
And that was quite a few years ago, and they're still memorable to us.
Yes, you see those guys and you think of those matches, but this match did not disappoint.
Not at all.
Scotty Wilde went to Bacon City a few times, but even Bacon got suplexed a few times, and it was a damn good wrestling match. Yes. It wasn't a whole lot of shenanigans.
It was worthy of the main event.
Yes,
it was
definitely a main event match. It was in the right place, and it was the right guys. And
we did see some action outside of the ring,
but you knew you were going to.
Well, yeah, of course.
With the
animosity between
with the two people that you had outside. You got Matthew James and you got Alex Cipher. There's been a lot of heat for a lot of time now. We've watched this storyline build for 3 years. Actually, longer than that. But it's just been building and building and building and building. And then the world got shut down. And it's been on the back burner without a flame
simmer
for 2 years. And they finally came back, and they did not disappoint. And Scotty Wilde is now the PvP / WMW heavyweight champion. And
yay.
And congratulations to him. He pulled it out. He won it, and it was a hard-fought match. And so Hammer Tunis came back out to present Scotty Wilde with the title. And apparently, in presenting the title,
that left a bad taste in his mouth.
He thought about what he talked about at the beginning of the night, and 13 years just wasn't long enough. He wants that one title that has eluded him, that he's allowed other people to have a shot at, and he hasn't taken that chance. And, well, apparently come June 5th, he wants that title shot. And
he's not ready.
Nope.
He's not ready.
He's still got more in the tank. He's still got gas in that tank, and he's ready to prove it. Everybody was writing him off because of the knee and everything else a few years ago. He was a tag team guy with Bacon and Aaron Morrison. Everybody thinks of him as a tag team guy. And, we've seen him have a match against Bacon. We've seen him have singles matches against Perry Von Vicious. Mm-hmm. We've seen him have a singles match with Logan Black.
Right.
This is his proving time. He is going to, if we're going to be merging two companies, he wants it to be him. And
he did say he wants it to be on his terms, how he goes out.
And he wants to go out on top. And the only way to go out on top is to wear that championship. And you know what? I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that match. I think it's going to be a really, really good match.
I agree, but where he's talked about I don't even know how to phrase this. I just worry about him getting hurt. I mean, I'm a mom. I worry about everybody getting hurt. But I think that it's good that he acknowledges that he is human, and he's willing to take that risk. And for that, I applaud him. And I am looking forward to that match. I'm sure parts of it I watch a lot of matches through my fingers. But I won't tell him to be careful because he's a professional. He knows how to wrestle, and he's trained for this, and he's done this for long enough. I'll never make that mistake again.
Yeah.
But I will be watching through my fingers.
Yeah. I'm looking for it. I think that's going to be a great title match. And I think it's a real good test for Scotty Wilde. You want to be this champion? You won that championship match against Bacon? That's great. Well, now you need to prove yourself again. Some people say in the UFC, you're not a true champion until you defend that title for the first time.
True.
Well, this is going to be his first defense, and I think that's going to be a tough one. I really think I hope that Scotty Wilde doesn't sleep on Hammer Tunis.
I don't think that he will.
I don't think he would either, but I would hate to see him do that. Don't take him for granted. Because,
but do you think there will be any...
Oh, there's going to be shenanigans. You cannot have Alex Cypher and Matthew James in the same building and not have some kind of shenanigans. It's just,
to be fair, you can't have Alex Cypher in
anywhere
without shenanigans. He's just Mr. Shenanigans.
He causes shenanigans at home, I'm sure. But what an amazing card it was. I mean, the whole event. I mean, we got done and it was like,
it was worth waiting for.
It stinks that we had to wait 2 years because of what we were supposed to get. But things have changed so much in 2 years that we weren't going to be able to get what we were supposed to get. But I think what we did get was well worth the wait.
And it's a testament to all that are in PvP that were able to pretty much go with the flow and then adjust their sails, so to speak.
Yep.
Okay, we were supposed to have one thing, but it's not like it was paused or on hold. Now they came back. And yes, we have some whispers of the past.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a whole brand new world for them.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with it.
They definitely got back in the car and drove it right down the road, and they didn't even miss an exit. It was a great.
They didn't take their foot off the gas pedal from beginning to end.
Not at all. Now,
but before we do that, can we just give props to the ring announcer?
Oh my God. I wish I could remember
refs.
his name.
Yes.
I wish I could remember the ring announcer.
If somebody knows
if you know,
could you post it for us, please?
Text me, message me something, whoever.
Leave it in the comments.
Yeah, leave it in the comments, please. That, the ring announcer's name, young kid. He's been working with these guys, just pre-pandemic, and he's getting better and better. He's doing a great job, and I wish I knew his name because we would chant it at the ringside, but I can't remember his name for the life of me. And then we had the two refs, a young Mr. Tunis and Miggy Stripes, which Miggy Stripes, we remember Miggy when he was sitting at the end of the row being loud and obnoxious as a fan, and now he's a ref counting 1, 2, and sometimes 3.
Fantastic.
But it's so good to see Miggy Stripes killing it as a ref. And
he's personally my favorite.
He is. He's a great dude too. He's a really good guy. So that was the event. Looking at that card, Anissa, what do you pick for your match of the night?
For my match of the night?
For your match of the night.
As much as I love Teddy Goods and Logan Black, that was a fantastic match.
It really was.
But seeing Chris Benet and Wrecking Ball go at, that was amazing. I love Chris Benet anyways. Yeah. He is one of my favorites. And it's taken a while for the crowd to accept him.
Yep.
But I think that little break that we had, I know 2 years isn't a little break. But
that's the biggest little break I've ever seen.
But I think to come back, he's finally being accepted.
Yeah.
And it was a fantastic match. And for me, that was match of the night.
I want to disagree with you just so that we have different matches of the night, but I can't. That was my match of the night. Mm-hmm. I'm always down for a Haas fight anyways. I love that style of wrestling. And Chris is just one of my favorite guys. But so is Wrecking Ball. Mm-hmm. And, we loved Wrecking Ball versus Brian Malonis.
Right.
I just love a big Haas fight. And those two brought it, but they do it so well.
It's not, because sometimes with some of the bigger wrestlers, it's a little slower.
There was no slowness at all. There was everybody was in high gear on that Saturday. They really were, everybody.
And you didn't have a clue. Sometimes when you see wrestlers come in, you're like, yeah, we know who has this one.
Yeah.
This one, nobody knew. It could have gone either way.
Yep. Now I'm gonna put something else out there. I know I'm gonna start something new. This is all new because this is our first time doing this style, and it's only my 5th video on the channel. But I want to do not a spotlight, but more of a performer of the night, a wrestler of the night. Mm-hmm. And I want to throw it to you first, but I'll just see if you think in the way I'm thinking. I think the performer of the night is legit Perfect Perkins. I think he should put on one hell for being new, being young, coming in, never seeing him before. I think think he stole the show, but I think he really performed at the highest level.
He really shined. And you know what? I agree.
In a show, in a card full of stars that we've all seen before, mm-hmm. whether it be somewhere else or not really anybody else in that venue has ever seen Perfect Perkins. And I think he walked away with more cheers and more, clapping hands. And he was able to do that with, like I said, a card full of stars.
Right.
He was able to do that. He was able to make himself known. And I mean,
he's definitely won quite a few fans.
well, I know at least 2 in this house.
Yes. Yes.
I talked to him post-match.
Yes, we did.
Or post-event. And, I'm like, look, his name is legit Perfect Perkins. I'm looking at the gear he's wearing, his boots and everything, and I'm like, you're definitely taking some inspiration from Mr. Perfect. And he says, 100%. He says, only the old school fans are catching that. What did I tell him? I says, I'm as old school as they get, to the point where it was just called school when I was there. Okay, so, and he liked it, but it was fun getting to know the new guy.
Yes.
What
a kind man. He took time he didn't know us from a hole in the wall.
No. And we talked to him for a little while, and he's a great guy.
Very respectful, a nice
I
nice
wish he
fella.
had, I didn't see any merch for him, which was disappointing, because he needs to get merch. I don't want to put it out there as somebody else, but he needs to get the merch. I don't want to take somebody else's gimmick, but
what do you need?
I don't need another shirt. I need another 8x10.
Fibber. You always need a new shirt.
But I need another 8x10 for the wall too, so we can promote them. That's what. And I think we're going to be starting something new, where we're going to highlight somebody, at least one star, and do like a little segment on them. Not going to be a long segment, but a little bit of history on the person as best we can find, and or at least what we know or what we're aware of, and we're gonna venture into that.
Well, I think part of our mission statement is to promote independent wrestlers.
100%. That's it.
If we can take a moment to shine a spotlight on just one person,
yep,
and say, hey, he needs some eyes on him, or she needs some eyes on her, or they need some eyes on them.
That's right.
That's what we as fans want to do.
Yes. We build them up. We don't tear them down. We want to do what we can to make these guys noticed.
Yes.
They're doing their damnedest, and we're going to do what we can on our side. That's the whole reason for this platform.
And also to show our appreciation.
Exactly. Hey, you're noticed, and we love you, one way, shape, or form. You could be a bad guy, and we may boo you, but we're doing it for the right reasons. We're booing you, but we're not crapping on you. We're not that kind of people. But in closing of this, that was PvP Resurrection. Welcome back after 2 years. I think Hammer Tunis and all the bodies involved put on one hell of a show. And we look forward to June 5th. Also at the Pulaski Club in East Hampton. And I think that's going to be an even more amazing show. I think there was a lot of energy because it was a long time coming. But look, in 5 years, I think we've noticed that PvP fans bring energy 100% of the time. And so, we look forward to that one.
I think, for me, at least, I shouldn't speak for you, but I think I can, is I want to thank everybody. To say thank you for the hard work from the ones who put up and take down the rings and the chairs, to the ones who call the matches, to the announcer, to all the wrestlers who put their bodies through this just to entertain us, to tell us a story.
And that's why it takes us so long to get out of a venue, is because we try to make our rounds to say goodbye and thank you, not to just our fellow fans, but to everybody that we see, in the ring, outside the ring, around the ring. Mm-hmm. We have some of our favorites, and we try to make sure that we say goodbye to everybody and thank you to everybody.
Yeah, we see you, we appreciate you, and we thank you.
Yeah. So this has been Anissa and Eric Hunting from parts unknown, and we hope to see you at the next shows. And we may or may not have one this upcoming weekend. We're not sure. So
Fingers crossed.
keep an eye out for some new content coming up. I'm trying to be consistent with content. It's tough, but we're going to do what we can. So in closing, remember, like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell so you get notified, and we'll see you
soon.
around. Okay? Thank you.